Hey, wait, these questions are the questions that JAMB brought out in the mock 2 days ago. And if you're preparing for this forthcoming JAMB, you must watch this video to the end in case they repeat this question, because you know JAMB repeats questions or something similar to it, so that you can be able to know how to solve it. With no further ado, let's get right into the video. A radioactive substance has a half-life of 80 days. If the initial number of atoms in the sample is 6.0 times 10 raised to the power of 10, how many atoms will remain at the end of 320 days? Option A, 3.75 times 10 raised to the power 9. Option B, 7.50 times 10 raised to the power 9. Option C, 3.00 times 10 raised to the power 10. Option D, 5.63 times 10 raised to the power 10. For us to be able to solve this, we must understand the relationship connecting the half-life and the number of atoms. And that relationship is what? N over N naught is equals to 1 over 2 bracket T over half-life, right? But in this question, they give us half-life to be 80 days. So this is my half-life. The initial number of atoms in this element is, that is my NO, 6.0 times 10 raised to the power of what? 10, right? And the question says, how many number of atoms will remain after 320 days? Okay, so looking for N, that is after decay. So my N is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for N, and we're giving time to be 320 days. Now for us to get the N, we are going to put it into what we have. Let's see if the answer will come out. So let's go. You already see the options provided for this question. Okay, so what's my N? Using N over N naught is equals to 1 over 2 bracket T over half-life. Okay, now what's my N? That is what I don't know. So what's my N naught? I have 6 times 10 raised to the power of what? 10, right? Follow it carefully. So is equals to, okay, what's my T? My T is what? 320. I have 320 divided by my half-life is 80. Okay, now this can cancel this, right? So let's go. What do we have? We have N over 6 times 10 raised to the power of what? 10. Then is equals to 1 over 2 bracket, something can go. 8 into itself is 1, while 8 into 32 is what? 4. So you have raised to the power of what? 4, which will give rise to 1 over 16. Hope that is clear. So this is N over 6 times 10 raised to the power 10 is equals to 1 over 16. So what I'm going to do next is to say cross multiply. So we'll do cross multiply. Then N multiplied by 16 is equals to 6 times 10 raised to the power 10 multiplied by 1. This simply means N times 16 is what? 16N is equals to 6 times 10 raised to the power what? 10, right? Then I divide both sides by 16. This cancels this. I have N, right? So what do we have when we divide? We're going to have 0.375 times 10 raised to the power what? 10, right? Now by the time we take this negative this way, the answer is going to be 3.75 times 10 raised to the power what? 9, raised to the power 9. That is my N. Is that clear? Alright. Now this is the particular question that came out in the JAMB mock. So if you see a question like this or something similar to this particular one, this is how you are going to solve it. Okay? From what we've got so far, the correct option to this question is option A. The hydrostatic blood pressure difference between the head and foot of a boy standing straight is 1.65 times 10 to the power of 4 Newton per meter square. Find the height of the boy. Density of blood is 1.1 times 10 raised to the power 3 kilograms per meter cube. We're giving G to be 10 meters per second square. We have the following options. Option A, 0.6 meters. Option B, 0.5 meters. Option C, 2.0 meters. Option D, 1.5 meters. The hydraulic static blood pressure. So we're talking about pressure in physics, even though it's medical terms, but you're talking about pressure, okay? So once you hear something about pressure, what now come to your mind is this. What is pressure? What's the formula for pressure? That is the first thing that will come to your mind in the exam hall, okay? So we have that pressure P is equals to force over area. And pressure is also equals to rho GH. So now we are going to look at the parameters given in this particular question and see what you're actually looking for. Let's see the particular equation that will go in for this question. So let's go. Now this blood pressure is given as P is equals to 1.65 times 10 raised to the power of 4 Newton per meter square. And we asked to calculate the height of the ball. Now that is H. We are looking for H, okay? Already, the density of his blood is given us, that is rho, is given us 1.1 times 10 to the power of what? 3 kilogram per meter cube, okay? And also from the question, we are given G to be 10 meters per second square, right? Now, putting into what we have, what we are looking for, we are going to use this formula, that is 1. But what are we looking for? We're looking for height. So we're going to make it what? The subject. It's just as simple as that. So let's go. By saying that P is equal to rho GH. What is my pressure? I have 1.65 times 10 raised to the power of what? 4. Then is equals to, my G is 1.1 times 10 raised to the power 3 times, my G is, so this is my rule, my G is 10 multiplied by what? H. Okay, now when I bring it together, I'll have 1.65 times 10 raised to the power of what? 4 is equals to 1.1 times 10 raised to the power what? 4. Then multiply by what? H. So simply by dividing both sides by what? 1.1 exponent 4. So let's go. This is 1.1 times 10 raised to the power 4 divided by 1.1 times 10 raised to the power 4. So if this cancels this, what's my H? My H is 1.65 times 10 raised to the power what? 4 divided by 1.1 times 10 raised to the power what? 4. So this cancels this automatically. So we are left with H is equal to 1.65 all over 1.1. Even if you don't have calculator, looking at this particular question, this one is already a whole number inside of it, right? So I'm going to start with what? 1 point. Now if you go through your options and it is only this one that started with 1 point, even without solving further, this becomes your final answer and it's going to be the correct answer. Do you understand? But by the time we divide, the answer is going to be what? 1.5 meters. So you can now see that the concept of pressure is applied. If you know what is pressure and also know different formulas of pressure, it will help you a lot because you might not see this question again or you might see something close to it. So it can help you solve it. I hope that is clear. Now from what we've got so far, the correct option to this particular question is option D. An electric heater is used to melt a block of ice, mass 1.5 kilograms. If the heater is powered by a 12-volt battery and a current of 20 amperes flows through the coil, calculate the time taken to melt the block of ice at 0 degrees Celsius, and we are given the specific latent heat of fusion of ice to be 336 times 10 raised to the power 3 joules per kilograms. We have the following options. Option A to be 76.0 minutes, option B to be 35.0 minutes, option C to be 21.0 minutes, and option D to be 2.9 minutes. Now, for us to solve this particular question, you must remember that we have latent heat of fusion in the question. And we also have electrical method. So what are you trying to say? We are using what? An electrical heater. An electrical heater to melt a block of ice. Okay, so if you are using an electrical heater to melt a block of ice, something happens. Now, if you're looking at the heat, you're not going to, you're not going to use H equals to MC theta. So let me shock you. We have H is equals to MC theta, right? But in this concept, you're using electrical heater. So you're no longer going to use what? H. Is that clear? And also talking about latent heat. Latent heat is a hidden heat. It's a hidden heat that causes the change of state without a change in temperature. Okay? So at this point, when this ice changes, the temperature is still the same. So the heat involved there is the specific latent heat of fusion of ice. Okay? So for the quantity of heat is replaced with heat. Okay? And the formulas for heat are IVT or I square RT or V square over RT or PT. That is all under quantity of heat, H, right? So depending on the parameters given in this particular question, that will give us a leading way on what to do. Alright, so we can say it is equals to MC theta, but in this concept, the temperature remains the same. So the temperature of ice or melting ice is 0. So everything here turns to 0. So we have plus ml what? F. That's latent heat of fusion, right? So now everything here changed to what? 0, because the temperature of ice is what? 0. Now looking at the parameters we have, let's see the particular equation that we go. We are given mass to be 1.5 kilograms. We have mass to be 1.5 kilograms. We have the potential difference to be 12 volts. We have the current I to be 20 amperes. Now we are looking for what? For the time. Alright, so but we have latent heat, specific latent heat of fusion of ice to be, that is LF, to be 336 times 10 to the power of what? 4 joules per kilograms. So this is power 3. Looking at the parameters we have the PD, we have the current, we have what? The time. So it means that this is what we are going to use under the quantity of heat, which is what? IVT. Is that clear? Now that is equals to what? MLF. Because at latent heat of fusion, the temperature remains the same. So that means MC theta, temperature here is equals to 0. Everything cancel out. So what you are going to use is what? IVT is equals to ML what? F. It's just as simple as that. So why I gave you all this explanation and all this formula is because in case you see something similar to this, so you can know the formula to use and solve it. Okay? In some questions, you might have power and time. So you're going to use what? PT in place of quantity of what? Heat, which is H. So let's go. Let's substitute what we have. What's my I? My I is 20 times my PD is 12. And I'm looking for what? Time. Remember, the time I'm looking for is in minutes. But let me get it in seconds first before I can do that. Now this is equals to, my mass is 1.5 multiplied by my specific latent heat of fusion is 336 times 10 to the power of what? 3, right? So let's work it out. By the time you multiply these two, this is going to give me 240T is equals to 504000, right? Okay, so let's divide both sides by 240. So this cancels this. So I have T is equals to, so this is going to give us 12100 seconds, right? But the answer is meant to be in minutes. So what do? You simply divide by 60. So you divide by 60. And that will give rise to 35 minutes. I hope that is clear. Now, from what we've got so far, the correct option to this question is option B. In case you see something close or similar to this, you can be able to solve it. All right. If this video was able to help someone out there, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button to get notified each time I post videos. And lastly, do not forget to share so that other students that are preparing for this same forthcoming exam can see it and learn from there. I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.